We move into this week, I tell you, it's almost like these individuals are feeling there's no wise move in sight. Now, we are going to get into the reading, especially in dealing with these karmic energies and how to best navigate them. Okay, now, what am I really seeing from this read? The first thing I'm really sensing, especially from the crowning energy, is really the feeling that no matter what they do, they're going to put a foot wrong. It feels like this is a no-win situation. And we're going to get into the deeper context of the reasons why and potentially how the karmic third party is going to react in the context of this. For those of you that don't know, I am a psychic medium, as well as I cover the twin flame path, and I am your host today. Now, we're going to get straight into the read, especially in the context of what's coming up with these guys. Now, this can be a very emotional point, especially for the karmic third party individual. And we do see from the crowning energy that it can be, the first message I was getting is a bunch of reasons why they've come to this place in their life. And it does feel really depressing, I'll be perfectly honest. They do feel as though they did not have the resources in their life. I feel this is a revelation as to how they have some behavioral mannerisms. This can be a lot of shadow work that we are directly moving through at this point in time, to do with the past, to do with behaviors, to do with who we really are, and why we have come to a space that we currently find ourselves. And, with all that aside, keep that in mind, because I do feel it's going to have some reference in the context of this reading. They're very strongly making reference to very strong role models that were in their life, mother, father, i.e., and tribe and direct connections, and again, how it's directly shaped them. So really, when they are looking at their decision moving forward and what directly is coming up, they don't really feel they can move in and turn into somebody that, turn towards somebody rather that has that divine guidance for them. So they can be seeking that counsel, and they do feel quite lost in the context. They're trying to retrieve back some wise counsel, but again, they just can't find anything in the context, especially this could be a very complicated situation. It could be that a loved one is on the other side and they feel lost without this individual. But again, I'm really getting very solid reference to this person being quite alone and feeling quite alone. Now, in the most recent past, we do see these individuals sort of coming up against a wall. And, where we are looking to this most recent past, we do have almost like a lack of information, a lack of communication, not really knowing what direction to go. This is with this limitation of what maybe they were able to do within the realms of their abilities, and that's what they're referencing. I also feel they have been seeking down the other party inside the twin flame connection. This can be spying, this can be wondering what the person's done. I also feel they're wanting to talk to you, which isn't, it's almost like they're wanting to negotiate terms, and I don't know what that means. They're wanting me to keep that incredibly mysterious, because it's going to land for each of you individually. But it's like there's some sort of a conversation for a pocket group of you that they're wanting to have. I do feel in the heart space they're wanting to lower the guard. They're wanting to not come off as angry, aggressive, and cross. And I also feel they're tired of fighting. And I think this is even for love. They're tired of fighting even for love. They don't completely feel in alignment. And they're definitely feeling that the person they're involved with, especially for those directly in this connection at this point in time, is that something's off and something's amiss. Well, it's two groups here. On one side of the fence, we do get this kind of picture that's being painted to the reasons why they've come to this. On the opposite side, there is a shady karmic. I'm hearing the term Jekyll and Hyde, and this can be that this person does have two sides to them. I do feel as though, I don't know why they're referencing this. It can come from the mother's side. I don't know what they mean by that. This can be that they weren't incredibly paternal. Maybe they wanted them, maybe they had them, but they're also referencing they weren't really, maybe it's, again, they're referencing back to their childhood. And although these kind of base factors aren't excuses, the way in which they strive to actually attain their goals, this is really coming through. I'm hearing the term the cat's out of the bag. There is something very toxic going on inside this reading. I never get tired whenever there is a dark energy around an individual or within the person's demeanor that I'm channeling. I start yawning. My guides come in and chime. Now, I do see there could be a conflict, and this can be because something comes out, something comes up. This is very vague. And again, it's almost like we're going to need to really flow with this, especially during Mercury retrograde. I do feel a conflict coming up, and this conflict, I do think, is because of an action that was done, but something that was up in the air. And we get this from the Mercury energy coming through with the Queen of Air. So this reading, the way it's coming through in the initial stages, is very much that this person has two sides to them. They have this very intuitive, logical side to themselves that they understand, but they also may or may not be aware that they do have another side to themselves, which can come through in triggers or when they're really driven within their goals, which can be, yes, some people could call that a go-getter, but if it's negatively placed, it can be very tactical and manipulative to get what they want. Now, there is something in the past coming out to do with one of these subject matters. This can be their wellness, their psyche, their health and what they're going through, or something to do with their childhood as well as parenting roles, I'm hearing. Now, whatever comes out, it does appear to be either tribe and family or two partners, or a question relating to two partners can come up into question, and I do feel a battle forming here. Somebody is going to require the black and white figures. Now, it's more the reference point of, and I get this as a very Virgo energy. This could be a government official. It could be something quite official in the sense of documentation. There's something coming through that is going to need all the relevant data and details. And this person's going to fight back. And, initially in the daydream and the Neptunian energy of it, they're very sort of like flattered that all this drama is going on. But I don't quite think they're really seeing what they're really walking into now. And I do think this is pertaining to past tense kind of influences, past tense choices that they've made. I particularly feel some information is going to come out. Now, we're going to go back. Somebody from the past is coming back to stir up the pot. This is not in the karmic connection. This was previously linked to the karmic connection. And they have some information. They are acting as a messenger. That'd be right, wouldn't it? They're saying two's company, three's a crowd. Although they may not have had any interaction most recently with the karmic, and the karmic did think that because they hadn't heard anything from this person, they had let it go by the wayside. Now, yeah, I get that they're not expecting it. Yeah, this has been a long time. I'm hearing the term it's been a long time coming. And again, I have the cat's out of the bag. Karmic third party is not aware of what's coming. It's strange. It's almost like they're feeling if this was to come out, it's not going to impact them because something's already impacted them. But I don't think they're quite thinking of the bigger picture, and I do see that this is going to. This can be going higher up above their head. And quite literally, if something isn't going in counterpart's favour, this is, in the long run, going to go in counterpart's favour. And they're saying they're digging up the trash. I mean, literally, we have the Pluto card falling on this black and white card. And there's particular cards that do reference some kind of analogy of what's going to come through. And something that was dead and buried, something that was hidden, it is coming out. It has been on hold. It's been waiting for a long time, but I do directly see this information coming out. The outcome could be a bit volatile. Now, we do have the jealousy card, although, again, this could be anger alone. They may be angry at what the outcome is. And yeah, it's like they're going to push back on this. They're going to push back on a ruling. They're going to push back on a judgment. But it's not. It's going to be a fight for them. It's definitely going to be a fight. But I can't, we almost could put this card where the individual has two hues on it, the black and white card and the moon. I don't think it's almost like they're thinking they can change the outcome, but the outcome's pretty much set in stone. This is coming full circle. It does feel like it's going to be a mess. Where they're trying to block it, they can be scurrying around trying to get resources together to prevent it. I just don't think they're going to be able to. Now, if you do want to book in, you can go to our link directly below on our website. We are currently upgrading it, so bear with us through the transition. Our Sage in a Circle network does have a landing page. At the moment on YouTube, I have provided one link where you can go directly through to the website to find everything that we offer. Now, if you do want any of our resources, keep an eye on the blog posts on YouTube as well as within our website. If you do want to jump on and watch the next round, please remember to subscribe and we will get into the energy for next week's update. Take care and I'll see you soon.